I feel like when it comes to betrayal, usually it doesn't start big. It starts with you allowing the little things to slide. And when you do this, what you're doing is teaching life what you're willing to accept. Every tolerated habit or boundary betrayal becomes a silent agreement, whether it's with yourself or others. Silence equals permission. And this is something that took me so long to realize because what you tolerate eventually becomes your standard. This doesn't just apply to relationships, but this applies to life. When people see that you value and respect yourself enough to not put up with anything, then they have no choice but to treat you accordingly. You have to be the one to dictate the direction of your life, or the world will do that for you. The people that you may have around you. All of these things influences where you end up. The environment that you live in, it adjusts to the standards that you allow. People eventually begin treating you to the lowest standard of yourself that you allow them to experience. This has little to nothing to do with being a great person, because you can be a good person and still get taken advantage of. You have to have some sort of spine or backbone when it comes to your self-respect, because truthfully, people are going to treat you exactly how you allow them to treat you. Just think about the first time that anybody may have violated you, right? If you were quick and you were on it and you corrected it right when it happened, I guarantee it probably minimized the chances of that thing happening again. But if you let it slide, if you didn't correct it, you just gave them complete access to doing those things whenever they may feel like it. Whether it may not have been a big deal to you in that moment or not, eventually over time, the more it occurs, it will start to bother you. You cannot allow anybody to play in your face. This principle applies to life, relationships, finances, everything. Low expectations become invisible ceilings. Things that keep you trapped, keep you minimized as a person so that people can come around and take advantage of you. And each and every last one of y'all watching this video do not deserve to be put in that certain position. This is exactly why I feel like we have to have standards for our life. Whether that's work, whatever it is that you want to do, relationships, you need to have a certain bar. And if people aren't getting right with that program, then they just do not need to be around you. Do not settle. Do not put yourself in a position to accept certain things because they've been comfortable or they're familiar. You have to set the tone for your overall value, and the rest of the world will flock and go with that. And that's okay. But this form of raising your standards, it starts with the smallest decision. Just having one, this isn't happening no more moment can shift your entire path because you're taking control. You're not allowing things to continue how they once did. Truly learning how to turn away from how things were previously. That's why I really do love the concept of change, because it doesn't matter how long something has been a certain way. At any given moment, you can wake up and make a certain decision to change the dynamic of everything that's been seen as regular thus far, or a habit or a pattern. It is up to you to make that happen in your life. You don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. So if you're somebody that has low standards or little to no expectations for what you may want out of the life that you're living, this is what you're going to attract. The person that you are today has been built on the things that you either have or haven't tolerated in your past. And in order to change that dynamic, all you have to do is just change the things that you tolerate. What so many people don't realize is the fact that long-term damage starts with short-term comfort. This form of compromising values to avoid confrontation. All this is a high-interest debt, something that you will never really be able to escape from in the long term, because the interest just continue to compound as you allow it to persist. We have to take control over our lives. You have to understand that people will mirror the energy that you broadcast. If you walk into the room confident, sure of yourself, the people in that environment have no choice but to feel the same way about you, because that's what you embrace. Just take the time to think about any job interview that you may have had. If you went in there knowing that you were going to get the job, confident, positive, and good energy, I guarantee you probably walked out with the job, because that form of confidence is what people like. You start to attract everything that you feel like you need in your life when you know how to be able to broadcast these type of things. But if you walked in there the complete opposite, and you were questioning whether or not it was going to go your way, and you were just iffy and you didn't know what to say, you probably are not going to get that job. And that's just the way of life. People will mirror the energy that you put forth. This happens all the times in relationships, friendships, and it all has to do with a sense of control, because nobody wants to feel vulnerable or too exposed. The higher standards that you have, the smaller your circle gets. But you just have to understand that you will get stronger mentally because of these things. If you want quality out of your life, it will always cost you quantity. This applies to literally everything. If you're somebody that wants a good and healthy relationship, it's going to cost you people that do not serve you, people that do not provide you any value. And that's okay. In order to receive, you have to be able to let go. Truly understanding that if nothing changes, you accepted it. Not putting yourself in a position to speak up or walk away is a choice. But just keep in mind that that choice that you decide to make, that's going to be the one that shapes your future. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow in the long run. That's why I feel like it's very important that you be vocal on the things that you want. Do not settle for anything or anyone. And I'll never forget a while ago when I was in this relationship, and I can just recall myself explaining certain things, always just having a voice or an opinion on dislikes, right? And at some point I came to terms with the fact that people do not listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth. Your actions have to be aligned. You have to move. Sometimes it's better to show people are visual learners, and that's okay. People are going to play with you as long as you allow them to. Self-respect, respect is non-negotiable. This isn't something that people should choose when and when they don't want to give it to you. This is 100% mandatory at all times, and I feel like this is why so many relationships fail, because they don't understand the power of actions, not always having to speak, letting your actions speak for themselves and then moving accordingly. I wasted so much of my time trying to find the words to explain certain things, doing everything but acting on my self-respect. So if you're in a similar position right now, stop talking. Save yourself your breath, save yourself the time and the energy, and just start moving like you respect yourself. Start moving like you love yourself. Because until you're a representation of that true sense of self-love, people will always treat you any kind of way. Don't take it personal. Take it as you needing to do the deep work so you can figure out what it is that you need to do in order to love yourself the right way. Because if you did, you wouldn't tolerate it. You sticking around with somebody through the hard times does not mean that you love them. It may just mean that you value yourself a little less. And this is exactly how love shouldn't be. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.